to start, I'm going to teach you guys what we teach. All right. And again, whether you're a one high or this guy's back here and you're a two high base defense, I think it'll marry up. All right. But I'm going to teach you guys kind of what we teach all our guys. All right. Our interior D linemen, our defensive tackles are heavy techniques. All right. We do not teach on defense. You've got the A gap, you got the B gap. The reason we don't teach that is because when they start moving backs around and doing all these different things, like, how are they going to know? How are they going to know? Yeah, sure, these two may know the fronts, but on the snap, when this guy goes here, is this guy going to know the front? Is this guy going to know the front? Or is everyone going to be on the same page with your fronts? Right. So I don't teach A gap, B gap, all this stuff. When I game plan against an opponent, we have a lot of different rules for where we're setting our front. It all depends on their run game. Sometimes it's based on tight end on the ball. Sometimes it's based on tight end off the ball. Sometimes it's based on tailback set. Or do we want to set the three technique away? Do you want to set the three technique to him? Sometimes it's based on his depth. Is the tailback deep? And you set the three technique to him. Is the tailback flat? You set the three technique. It all depends on what your run game looks like to where you set your front. Well, I teach my linebackers all this stuff. I don't necessarily go in the safety room and teach them all that. So if something does change prior to the snap and your D lineman got to move from one gap to the other, how are all guys on your defense going to know? All right. That's us specifically. I'm not saying that's what you need to do, but it does marry what we teach our linebackers. All right. So our D line is going to be heavy techniques. They are going to, it's kind of a two gap defense. This guy's a 2 high, this guy's a 3, but a lot of times when you watch our tape, you won't be able to know because they line up so heavy. They're going to line up in 2s, and their job is to knock the crap out of these guards. Whether he's a 3 or a 2, his job is these guards are not climbing to our backers. Why I like that is because when you line up a guy just in a 3 technique, every O-line coach in the country that I've ever been around works that combination with that footwork. You're going to take this footwork and you're going to drive through it and you're going to work your combination up. You're going to step to the A gap, and if the 3 don't show, you get to climb right now. Right? Same thing on the other side. If the 2 high doesn't show up on your first step, you're going right now to the backers. Well, I'm trying to keep these backers clean. These backers are going to make a ton of tackles in your defense, at least in our defense. Right? Ty Wise a year ago at 120 tackles, Salopek at 120 tackles. Matt Salopek has had 5 or 4 consecutive years over 100 tackles. Right. So your D line's got to be bought into it that your job is to whip this guard's butt every snap. And if they're working zone this way, you stay on this guard so he can't climb up. Because if you're running inside zone, the combination is he gets him and he works up to the guard. Well, if you stay on this, they can't leave their combination. Your backers are going to be free. So our interior D linemen are heavy as heck on these guards. They are going to be heavy shoulder players. Our defensive ends are heavy heavy shoulder players on the tackles. We have an overlapping hand on shoulder alignment, and their job is to get hands on these tackles every snap. And do we have adjustments? And you'll see that as we go through plays. Yes, we have adjustments based on run plays, right? But if it's just inside zone, your base blocks, they are knocking the crap out of these tackles and not allowing them to climb anywhere. Okay? Because we do that, we allow our backers to not know what their gaps. We teach shoulders. So right now in our run fit right here, you've got this gap covered, you got this gap covered, you got these gaps. But really all I tell my backers is you're keeping the tailback on your right shoulder. Because you shouldn't get a ton of linemen climbing, your job is to keep that back on your right shoulder. Your job is to keep that back on your left shoulder. So these two are playing together in our defense and keeping the ball between them at all times. Right? Right now, he's the D-gap defender. Right now, he's the D-gap defender. Nothing gets outside you. You're the edge to the defense. You're the edge to the defense. Nothing gets outside you. Keep the ball inside and in front. Right? Now, obviously, things can change. So the reason I bring this clip up is because this is what we call our Banjo drill, our combo drill. You talk about edges to your defense. If they were just to run, in this case, inside zone, to our defense's right, left, as you're looking at it, he has that shuffle squeeze technique. Keep your eyes on the quarterback, force the give. If they give it out, the only tackle he's got to make is in this gap right here. Right? He's keeping the ball on his right shoulder. He's keeping the ball on his left shoulder, and nothing gets outside my guy over here. All right. Well, now your run fit's got to equal your pass fit. So if this guy goes vertical and they run inside zone, he's a right shoulder player, he's a left shoulder player, and nothing gets outside of him. So his run fit can equal his pass fit. He can end this vertical seam. If anything goes to the flat, his drop is the flat, he can just match it out. It's his. If this guy were to go to the flat, nothing gets outside of him, he keeps his run fit equals his pass fit. Right? Now, here's where the drill really comes into play, is if this guy were to go flat this way, and let's say, again, this is where we got in trouble early in our existence within this defense, is if this guy went flat, this guy's trying to go get him because he's trying to keep the ball on his left shoulder. But if this guy went to block him, he'd start to carry. Well, now your offense gained 2 for 1. They've got 2 blockers, or 1 blocker, for 2 guys. And now nobody's got him to the flat. So what we do with this drill is to start day 1, to talk about edges to your defense, always run those guys vertical and change up what this guy does. He's going inside. If he's inside, I'm right shoulder, I'm left shoulder. If he's inside and these guys are vertical, I carry and I carry. If this guy goes fast to the boundary, my run fit equals my pass fit. I'm the edge to the defense. As soon as he goes flat, my eyes snap right to the tight end. If he's vertical, I become this player. That's my pass fit now. I take him vertically. So that's where, when you talk Ripley's match, all those things, that's why we're not. When this guy goes flat, my eyes go to the tight end. If this tight end's vertical, I now have the tight end. If this tight end were to wheel release, I take it. If this tight end wheel releases this thing, I have first to the flat. I take this. I expand vision to the tight end. If he's rolling to the flat, I know now Oscar has this, and Ty Wise can now reevaluate and get his eyes back to the tailback, and I've got him. I'm still tracking left shoulder. And if this guy were to go vertical, I would go here and take this guy back, because the back led me to all my work. All right. So from a drill standpoint, the other one is if he goes flat this way, if he goes flat across, Eli takes first to the flat. This guy's vertical. I take it. So from a drill standpoint, what I do is I service myself. I have a player here. I have a player here. And I have a player here. And then I have 4 guys. Doesn't matter. Mike, Will, safety, nickel, corner, all in these positions. And I just change up what this guy does. He's inside. He's outside. He's fast out. He's fast across. And I just keep changing it up. You go from this position to tight end, him to OLB, him to opposite backer, him to here. And this is where you talk about eyes. So I say, okay, well, where are your eyes? Right now, these 2 guys in the first slide we had, point number 2 is where's your eyes? My eyes are on the back. I'm right shoulder. My eyes are on the back, left shoulder. My work takes me to my next job. If the back is fast, my eyes go right here. My eye goes right to the tight end. This guy's in that combo. The word we use is banjo, but it's a combo. If the back is fast, I got to know what this guy does. If he's vertical, I got the back. If he's flat, I take him. Right? Any action away from me, I take it. Any action vertical, out, with the back fast away, my banjo is no longer there. I own number 11. Right? So it's, again, you talk about edges to your defense, you talk about what you do. Now let's get into some actual plays, right? Not actual plays. This is the progression, right? So this is what I was talking about, the run fit period. So you'll see me over here. I don't have it videoed, but we split our group. This is all the D-linemen, and then half the backers, half the safeties, half the corners. They're working the run fit period. I'm doing the banjo drill we just talked through over here with the rest of them. And I'm moving the back one way, and I'm moving guys vertical, because it's, to me, your run fit equals your pass fit. All those different things you talk about, they're doing the same jobs over here. Okay. So
6 minutes.